being here. She's here for the shoot we have, LongLiveBoxing, Chicano Boxing. How's it going today, Carmen?
Great day. It's a little bit hot out there, but it's a great day.
Definitely a great day.
Yes.
So, how long have you been modeling?
Well, I just started. It's my first shoot. Never done it. I'm a little bit excited, a little bit nervous, a little bit of everything. But yeah, it's my first shoot.
Oh wow, seem like a pro. So I mean, you're actually the first one here. What do you know about LongLiveBoxing, if anything?
Well, I'm not really familiar with it, but I do know Canelo. I watched a few fights of him. I think it's a great sport. I don't really practice it. I work out more than doing boxing.
Right.
But I'm sure it's like a type of to get your stress out.
So good physical fitness.
Great. Yes.
Okay.
It's a great workout too.
Oh, definitely. So what got you into modeling or like camera work? Ultimately, what would you like to do with this shoot? Would you like to take it? What's the next step for you?
Well, I hope to keep on. Like I said, I've never done it, but I hope I can. After this, I like it and keep on practicing or just take it to another level.
All right, this is Sean with LongLiveBoxing, also with Chicano Boxing. Here with Fatima. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing great.
All right, great to have you here. Why are you here today, actually?
I'm here to support my sister on her photo shoot.
Oh man, I love that. Right? Nothing like that, having that support.
Yes.
Well, also you're gonna be taking some pictures too, right?
I believe I am.
That's awesome. That's great. So we're here with LongLiveBoxing, obviously. You mentioned that you do have some fighters that you do follow. I mean, you are not the hugest fight fan, but you do respect the sport, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right. Which fighters are those?
Mayweather, Danny Garcia, Canelo. Yeah, right now those are the ones that I like the most.
Who do you say is your favorite?
I'm gonna say Mayweather is my favorite.
Oh, why is that?
Cause he's the best.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being the best. All right.
Yeah.
So you're the best being here for your sister.
Yes.
Anybody want to shout out or call out or beat up or whatever?
No, no, I do.
All right, I'm here. This is Sean with LongLiveBoxing, also with Chicano Boxing, with Francine. How are you doing, Francine?
Hey, I'm doing good.
All right, so glad to have you here today for the shoot. What brings you in today?
Well, I was just kind of excited to come help out, take some photos, get some exposure out, maybe, for my gym, for female fighters out there.
Awesome.
So,
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit more about your gym. What gym is that?
my gym is actually Ohana Warrior, Muay Thai martial arts. It's on Arapahoe Road in Richardson.
Awesome. So, I mean, I was kind of surprised when you walked in and found out you were a fighter. You seem such a nice person. You have a fiery side, obviously. Where does that come from? Your passion for fighting?
Oh man, it's always been something that I've wanted to do. Ever since little, I've always been interested in different kinds of martial arts. And a friend of mine, Mona, she actually opened up the gym a few years ago, and I had always wanted to try, but mom was always scared, didn't want to let me go.
Yeah.
So when she opened up her gym, like I just kind of jumped into it, and ever since then, it's something that I've always loved.
Great. So it's kind of who you are now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now, with that being said, are you still doing it for health or development, or are you really, getting yourself to the point where you're are you a professional fighter now?
So I think I've done a little bit of everything. I'm still amateur. I actually went back in November to New York and competed in the U.S. Muay Thai Open, and I won the belt for the Class C division, 105 to 112.
All right, awesome. So with that, do you also do, other types of, combat fighting to kind of get you prepared for those bouts?
Right now, I've just been doing Muay Thai. I've done a little bit of BJJ. I haven't gone too deep into that one, but I've always really liked Muay Thai.
Oh, awesome. Well, why is that?
I feel like it's, so fluid, the movements, knees, elbows, so many different things, so many combinations that you can put in there, kind of like a dance,
Oh man, I love that. Kind of like a dance, right?
Yeah.
But definitely a dance for the winner for sure. So if people want to, follow you or when's your next fight?
I haven't decided yet. I know there's another tournament coming up in November. My coach has been talking to me about that. I've been a little busy with work, but hopefully I, will get back into it and be able to do something in November or, early next year.
Oh man, can't wait. Anybody want to shout out or call out or anything like that?
Of course. I want to thank Nancy Lynn from my gym. She was the one that actually introduced me to y'all. My coach Mona, JR, Frank, and everybody at my gym. We all love each other. Everybody pushes each other. It's a big family. If you guys ever want to come check it out, everybody's more than welcome to.
And we definitely will. Thank with the shoot here, Long Live Boxing and Chicano Boxing. So happy to have you here today, man. Why are you here with us?
I'm here with you guys today to tell you a little bit more about what I do.
Fantastic. What exactly do you do other than look amazing?
Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I am an actress, and what I basically concentrate on is becoming a stunt woman.
What?
Yes.
All right, you got to expand on that, because that's not something you hear every day, and it does sound pretty exciting, but dangerous. So tell us more about it.
Well, first of all, I got interested in it because I was a really, really, really big fan of Alice, which was from one of the action films, Resident Evil. So I've always been really fascinated with women that were in the action zone. And so I didn't want to get typecasted in the film industry as being quote unquote the angry black woman. So I wanted to do something a little bit more challenging. And for me, that was action. And when you're dealing with smaller films, you have to learn the choreography, which sometimes does deal with, not really sometimes, but all the time deals with boxing, jiu-jitsu, and different things like that to do your own stunts. And then maybe I'll either be the actress that needs a stunt double or the stunt double herself that one day.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So, a lot of times people do get inspired by things, they don't follow through. What was the difference of why you felt the need to pursue this and continue on? Was it just something you kind of always had? You're like, this is my opportunity, or it is kind of within you, I can't let this go?
Well, as you can see, I have a very androgynous look. I'm bald, and I go for more of the stronger roles. It was really challenging for me. It gave me a chance to tap into my inner strength, because choreography in fighting, in the fight scenes, it really takes a lot. It looks way more difficult than what it is. You have to tap in on your inner strength and your outer strength, and it takes a lot of training. So to me, it was like something different, out the norm, out the box. You normally don't see a lot of African American women, other than, it's certain ones, because I'm a big fan of Halle Berry. And it was just different, just something to give me more of a different outlook on acting, to take my skills somewhere else.
Man, that's awesome. You did mention the great Halle Berry, but it's got to be difficult to find anybody of any background to kind of get into this position of learning this industry. So how did that come about?
Well, the first thing was I got casted for a role, and I got casted for an Army General role, and it also had some stunts in it. And I needed some training to be able to do that. I had everything else down, and one of the guys, which was my personal trainer, his name is Khalid Beard. He trains at Title I Boxing Center. He told me, he said, well, I can get you ready. And so that's what we started doing. And I started noticing, like, you need some of everything: boxing, yoga, jiu-jitsu, karate, just everything. And it just really stuck with me, because not only was it different, I began to be good at it. And then, I'm a woman, so it kind of hits different points on the body, keeps your body looking right. And so from there, it just took off. And then I just started trying to study other women. I did mention Halle Berry, and it was like, I went to go see John Wick 3 when it came out. And I just was like, wow, like, I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Man, that's awesome. That's really, truly great. Now, what would you say to somebody that, has the same aspirations as yourself? Would you discourage it? Would you kind of maybe want to, tell them what to look for? Or what's been your experience so far?
My experience so far has been that you have to have the drive and the will of it yourself. When I first started, I gave up. My first day of training, I laid on the floor, and I looked at these people, and I said, people actually pay people to do this to them, because it was very challenging. But then after that, I started noticing that was something that set me apart. So you have to have the willpower and the drive. It's not going to come for you. You have to go for it. And you have to find somebody that's patient with you. I'm a little bit older, and the older you get, the harder you have to go. So it wasn't something I had been doing as a child. So it's different parts of it, and you have to just stick with it. You don't give up. If you give up, you'll never get there. So the more you train your body and you do different training, you need some yoga, you need just some cardio, you need different things, and you study. If I would say one of the greatest people to study boxing wise, of course, would be the great Muhammad Ali. You would study that, see how he was real smooth on his feet. And then the next thing would be Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali, I just thought about that, both last name Lee. Both of them had a smoothness about them. It was about staying with the wind, letting your body kind of shift itself, learn your own body. You can't basically base it on what other people do as far as like what you think they do. You have to get to know your body, and you study different people, see how they pay attention to the moves, and then you do it yourself. It just takes practice.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So how often do you train? I mean, that seems like a lot of work. And you seem to take your craft very seriously. So, I mean, are you training every day? Do you take time off? How often do you go to Title Boxing Gym?
I go 3 times a week. I'm usually there Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then on the other days, I pick up something different. One thing as a woman, I would tell anybody, pole dancing is good. Yoga is good. Swimming is good. To add with it something different, something to give the body the different type of mobility. So I try to work out. Some months I go 7 days a week, but then I give my body a rest, and so I rotate. I don't try to let my body get used to it. I do three days a week, 1 week, 5 days a week. Sometimes I go 7, but for the most part I try to pace myself, and I pay attention when my body says it's time to sit down. I sit down.
That's awesome. So Renee, obviously you got a unique, interesting, exciting journey. Where can people follow you on social media? On
social media, you can find me on Facebook at Project Phoenix 9. Phoenix 9 is my stage name. And on Instagram, you can just find me at Phoenix 9. Phoenix is F-E-N-I-X, and 9 is N-Y-N-E.
All right, last thing. Would you like to shout anybody out, or let anybody know that you're thinking about them?
Yes, I'd like to say hello to both my beautiful, wonderful children. I have an 8-year-old by the name of Kenny, and I have a 13-year-old by the name of Gavin, and let them know that everything that I do is always for you.
Oh, thank you so much. You have a great day, ma'am. Awesome. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.